Bad training days. We've all been there, we've all had them, and it's just a natural part of your Muay Thai journey. There are going to be days where you feel like you're on top of the world and you're taking in everything and you're doing everything right in sparring, and it's just like, it just feels like you're capable of doing anything. And then there are days where you're going to have the opposite, where everything seems to be going wrong. You're not grasping basic techniques, you're not blocking things, you're not landing anything in sparring. And it's very easy for these days to impact your confidence. Dealing with these bad training days, it's a common challenge, and it's really important to not let it affect you in the long run, because they are going to happen, and knowing that they are going to happen, it's going to help you handle them. Let's discuss some ways that despite having these bad training days, you could still try to maintain your confidence, and I'll give you some suggestions on how to move on from them. So you're having a bad training day, right? It's one of those days you just feel so disappointed, so frustrated, so discouraged. You're like, I'm good for nothing. I can't get anything right. What is the point of this even? Hey, all those feelings are normal. I repeat, they are normal. So because they are normal, you don't want to suppress them. You don't want to just pretend like they don't exist and try to feel like, I really need to not feel this way. I really need to not believe that. You are someone who learns, you're human, and because you're human, you're able to improve. But in the process, you're going to make mistakes. So don't suppress those emotions. Acknowledge those emotions. Allow yourself to feel what you feel so you can process them and move on. Acknowledging your emotions, it also it carries on into the next step that I'm going to talk about. But just acknowledging it and talking to someone about it. So you can talk to your coach, or you could talk to someone you trust in the gym. You could talk to your partner or a close friend about it, right? And sometimes just the act of talking about it is going to feel really good, because sometimes what's going on in our heads, it can very quickly feel like our reality. But once you let it out into actual reality, sometimes it just feels like, oh, this is like such a small little bump in this very long journey. So what? So, and talking to someone, like with anything, they can provide support and guidance on how to overcome these obstacles, if that's something you're looking for. If you're looking for someone to just vent to, someone that you trust, they can definitely provide that kind of support as well. Everyone has bad days, and it's okay to feel down and like you suck. Once you've acknowledged your emotions, take some time to reflect on what went wrong. So you did really bad during training today. Was it because you lacked focus? Was it because you weren't doing the technique properly? Why weren't you doing the technique properly? Was it because it was something new to you, or was it because you were sore or fatigued, right? So when you try to identify the root cause of what happened and why you had this bad training day, you can take some of these steps to avoid making the same mistake in the future. So for example, if you determine that the reason why you fatigued so quickly was because you didn't eat enough, then in the future, you're going to make sure that you do eat enough to avoid these bad training days. And if you're not really sure which direction you need to go in, you can always just ask your coach or a training partner that you trust, that you respect, right? So you just ask for feedback, like, hey, what's something that you think I can improve on, or what's something that you think I should focus working on more. So then when you have a plan to address certain issues and focus on specific areas that need improvement, then keeps you more hopeful for the future. So it's going to impact your self-confidence less. Well, at least in a direction. It's going to negatively impact your self-confidence less and positively impact your self-confidence more. And on the topic of confidence, having confidence can do wonders for your performance. But it's really difficult to maintain that on the bad training days, right? So some things that you can do to help you build confidence, not just during that day, but over time. Always remind yourself of your past triumphs, all the times that you've set a goal and you reached it, and all the progress you've made so far. Sometimes when we have a bad training day, it's so easy to just zero in on it and just forget about everything else and forget all the progress that you've made. So it's really good to just be like, hey, let's take a step back and just look at the bigger picture and look at what I have achieved, instead of just making my entire life based on a 1 hour, 2 hour training session. And a really good way to do this is actually just to take videos. If you take videos from different stages of your journey, you can always look back at the videos and be like, oh wow, I got so much better at this, I got so much better at that, I don't do this anymore and now I do this. I'm a big fan of taking videos. You don't have to share them with anyone. You can just upload them into like a folder and you could just check in every now and then. I personally use Google folders because there's Google Photos, because I can sort them by date. I could save them into albums into the cloud, so it doesn't take up space in my phone. And then every now and then it'll send me like a reminder of like, oh, this happened like 2 years ago, this happened 5 years ago, and I'll look back and be like, oh my god, I can't believe I used to throw a kick like that. So it's like a really good way of like to remind yourself how far you've come. Similarly to recording yourself and keeping a record of your training videos, you can also keep a training journal. Keeping a journal can help you track your progress and identify the areas of improvement, right? So then I actually have a bullet journal. And in my bullet journal, I have a Muay Thai section. So in that Muay Thai section, I'll write down something that I learned that day. Every month, I write down my goals, what I have achieved, and my challenges, and I'll take that into the next month and try to work off that. And doing this, it helps me to stay very focused and motivated. When you do have a bad training day, you can use the journaling technique to write down what happened and write down what you learned from it, write down how you feel, right? Use it as a journal, right? So you want to reflect on what happened and be able to look back at another time when you're mentally in a better space and reflect even more. Another way to help you build confidence over time, really do your best to not let one day define your entire training journey. If you're in here, you're in it for the long haul. You're going to be here for quite a few number of years. If you're not emotionally invested in Muay Thai, then a bad training session is not going to ruin your entire day or your entire week. So then if you are emotionally invested in it, then you're going to be in it for the long haul. So take it one day at a time. Set small, achievable goals and work towards them. A small, achievable goal could be just like, I need to keep my right hand up when I throw the left jab, or I need to try to turn my hips, right? So setting these small, actionable goals can help you work towards them, as opposed to setting like this very long goal, big goal. Setting big goals are good too, but setting more smaller goals are going to help you take the steps to go towards that big goal. And another way to maintain your confidence is surround yourself with people who believe in you. So this can be in the form of your teammates that you love. Your coach should be supportive and understanding that not everyone is, we're not robots, right? We can't have good days all the time. We can't be perfect all the time. And your teammates will also understand that because they have also been there. Okay, moving on. Stay focused. Sometimes when you have a bad training day, you just, like I said before, you just go down a rabbit hole of all the ways you feel inadequate, right? But stay focused on your goals. Don't let that one bad day derail your training journey. Don't let it just discourage you from never showing up again. Use it as an opportunity to learn and improve and become better. And if you find yourself kind of spiraling during the training session, zero in on your technique or your form, right? Ground yourself into what you're doing right now. So then, like, let's say you're doing your drills and your combos and stuff. All right, how can I do this a little bit better? Or how can I remember this combo better? Then just focus in on that instead of letting your mind take you somewhere else. And sometimes you just need to take a break. A bad training day, it could be a sign that your body is just, it just needs a day off or two. I've talked a bit about overtraining in a lot of my content. I've been in overtraining territory way too many times, and I can tell you that it does not feel good. Not only do you feel fatigued because people think, oh, overtraining is just feeling tired. No, you're not just fatigued, but you feel burnt out. You feel burnt out. You're not looking forward to doing anything, not just training, but anything. And you're also more susceptible to injuries. So if you haven't taken a proper rest day in a while, this is your sign to take some time off and recover, and can help you recharge yourself and refocus your mind. So then when you come back, you're able to take on these new challenges in training and you feel refreshed to do so. And also, this is a good opportunity to do the other things that you like, right? So then if you have no time to go hiking or rock climbing or spend time with your friends and family because you're always training, use this time to do just that. It's not time wasted, right? And sometimes time off could just be you lying in bed, on your phone doing absolutely nothing, and that's perfectly fine too. Find something that you enjoy doing, so find something that's going to help you recharge your batteries and do that. Kind of in the same spectrum as taking a break, sometimes you also just need to try something new. If you're doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, even if it's something you really love, it can lead to you feeling bored. And if you're bored, then you're going to be not as motivated to do it. And then that lack of motivation is going to lead to you not doing things well in training and otherwise, and then it's going to make you feel, pretty bad about yourself, and so on and so forth. So if you're experiencing like a string of bad training days and you're not overtraining and you're pretty sure you're not overtraining, just try something new. This is another time to try out another hobby, right? Try something new and challenge yourself. Last but not least, sometimes you just have to let it be. Not every training session, not every day is going to be a good one. There are going to be times where you feel like you're not making any progress, or that anything that can go wrong is going wrong. The idea that every single training session needs to be great or needs to be perfect, it's very overrated. And I know that when you look at social media, people are always posting like them doing all these great things, and you think that this makes up their entire life, but it's unrealistic to expect perfection every time you train, or expect perfection from other people, right? So then people on social media, people tend to post extremes. They tend to post the best of them or the worst of them. And there's not really this middle ground here. So you don't really see a lot on bad training days, and then they could set unrealistic expectations for yourself. And then you're going to get disappointment and discouraged and all these other things that we already talked about. Sometimes you just have to let the bad days be bad days, and you just try again tomorrow. You just go to sleep, you wake up the next day, and you just try again. Don't beat yourself up over a bad training session, and you don't have to make it a good training session, right? Like I said, sometimes a bad training session is just a bad training session, and you just accept it and move on. And that's it. You can't do anything about it. Sometimes it's just like, I'm just fed up this day. Okay, you're fed up with the day. That's okay. It's probably fed up with you too. Just go to sleep. Tomorrow's a new day, and use that new day to learn and grow and improve. Muay Thai is a journey, and like any journey, there are going to be ups and downs. It's not about being perfect, but it's about making progress and getting better each day. So embrace the journey, enjoy the process, celebrate your successes, and learn from your failures. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time.